farewell. Avida say goodbye. It is gone, people. Gone, gone, gone. Welcome back here, everybody, once again to another video. Not surprising to me, Naomi has been cancelled. This series was awful from the start. There was nothing likable about it. I actually decided to watch the first three episodes and I never went back. Never went back because it was that bad. The show had no purpose, it had no direction, it had nothing to even speak of. The entire budget for the show was spent on her hair. That's it. Leaving everything else is completely left to dog shit. People would have to, you would see props like people bring things from in their garage to put there and all sort of stuff. It was never going to work. Ever. It was never going to work. Because Ava DuVernay, the fact I'm exclusive, Ava DuVernay's superhero drama Naomi will not be back for a second season on the CW. Yeah, because when Ava DuVernay, everybody's favorite SJW, came out and stated that this show was going to focus solely, or not solely, we were going to focus heavily on identity politics. You doomed the show right there. Right there, you doomed the show. The show never had a direction, never had a purpose. And if you look at Naomi as a character, for instance, this is a character who has not been around that long, not even 10 years apparently, not that long. She was created by Brian Michael Bendis, the whole Bendis is coming thing. Now, Naomi is basically DC's version of Riri Williams. Because Riri Williams is for Marvel when they decided to turn Iron Man into a 16-year-old black girl. This time around, Naomi is basically their version of turning Superman into a 16-year-old black girl. That's pretty much it. She has powers and whatnot. Now, some people will say that she started off in comics. Well, she is in the comics. She is in the comics, in DC Comics. I read the first few issues of her comic. I didn't like it at all. I found that her origin story, her build up, everything was just kind of lazily done, and then they just put it back into the like they just was hoping to see if they could figure out somewhere along the road that it might make sense or something, but it didn't. To me, it never really clicked. I just was never really interested too much in it. But Naomi had problems from the start. I mean, if you look here at the ratings for this first season, and good lord, are they awful. It started off with the first episode had a viewership of 0.802. Didn't even pass a million. Every other superhero show on the CW has gone over a million. Superman and Lois was over a million. Superman and Lois is a show. I already kind of see where that's going. But anyway, you had shows like Arrow, Flash, them cross 2-3 million. Even Legends of Tomorrow was over a million. But look at this, and the viewership has dropped steadily over time. It started off at 0.802. The last episode came in at 0.428. So you started off with a viewership of 802,000 and lost half of that by the time you reached episode 13. And when you look at the demo, because the demo is what's really important, the demo is the age bracket that you're looking for, the 18 to 49. It started off first episode at 0.14 and steadily dropped. And whenever you saw these little glitches where it will go up a little bit and stuff, this series would take these breaks, like a 2 weeks break or a 3 weeks break or something. So people probably just came back to say, let me see if it's still as awful as it as it really was, and then they'd find out, yeah, it is, and just go on, and it just keep dropping all the way down the last episode of 0.06. Nobody's watching this thing. Absolutely nobody's watching this. Weekly, as from Heels versus Babyface and Jane Theory do reviews of each one of the episodes, be sure to check them out on YouTube. Heels versus Babyface and Jane Theory, they put out some really good stuff. They do reviews for it, and anybody who's ever seen any of the reviews that Az did for Batwoman knows that his reviews make that interesting. The series itself was garbage, but his reviews make it interesting. And even the two of them could not find anything good about this show. Absolutely nothing. And I can't blame them, because I said I watched the first 3 episodes of it. Absolute dog shit. Awful show. Absolutely awful. There was nothing in Naomi to even be remotely interesting to anybody. And you didn't, I mean, no, 13 episodes is not really a full season. It's more like a half season, really. Because 13 episodes, what happened when you order, when these companies and them order I shouldn't say order, when they green light these projects, they usually give it a 13 episode run, and they will see if the rating and the viewership is really good, then you will get about another 10 more or something like that. So that is how they go along with it. You couldn't even last out your first season because it was garbage. Absolute garbage. This show is gone, and what is replacing it? Because as we know, they fail upwards in these companies now. The writers who were doing Batwoman, another horrible season, are moving on to Gotham Knights, and not Gotham Knights, the video game Gotham Knights, the TV series, which has already been greenlit. And the information we have for that is that they have already approved a few characters who are going to be highly representative of the alphabet community. They have no intention of stopping. So it's highly representative of the alphabet community for them. We also have Supernatural, have a prequel to Supernatural, which I think is the Winchesters or something. So, I mean, Supernatural had its time. People wanted to see the Winchester brothers. That time was gone, but no, they're still sticking around with that. And also Walker, they're doing a prequel to Walker also. So all you're getting is a show that is already doomed from the start, and two prequels to shows that one that people were mildly interested in, and another one that is already struggling. So when you look now and you say, well, did these ratings show that this show was literally dead on arrival? No. The Twitter mob went crazy and started to call racism and other things. Here we have some things from our master, the TDS. Here's it is. Charmed, Roswell, New Mexico, Naomi, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow. The CW really said, let's cancel every show that has POC, people of color, and queer leads, but keep nearly every show that has white people front and center. We see you. You see, this is the kind of nonsense we're talking about. You want to talk about cancer show that has people of color and queer leads. It show is not good. It's not good. They redid Charmed, and they put in like a black, two black characters in it, and they had this one was gay and that one was gay, all kind of thing. Yeah. It show never worked. Charmed had it time and it done. Roswell, New Mexico, well, that show was a complete and utter mess. Naomi, ratings were worse than Batwoman. That's to tell you how bad it is. Worse than Batwoman. Legends of Tomorrow was already gone. Here's the next one. Not a great time to be queer or a POC, or heaven forbid a queer POC on the CW lately. Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, Roswell, 4400, Naomi, Charmed, and Dynasty all cancelled. Well, they weren't good. So they should keep her around shows that aren't good just because? Here's another one. So Naomi, with its black queer lead character, has been cancelled too. Charmed, about four black sisters, also with a lesbian, I believe, has also been cancelled. The CW is really showing its true colors now, isn't it? White straight men only. Well, look at this. Ah, let's see what we have here. Look at it. All of this is just absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. The CW hates people are keeping the Flash, Riverdale, and most likely Superman and Lois, but canceling Batwoman, Charm, Naomi, bullshit. The CW network that claims to love diversity and inclusivity really just cancel Batwoman. And you see, when I see these posts like this, you're telling me quite clearly that none of you have ever watched the show. None of you have ever watched it. Because had you watched it, you would know how awful the show is. And if you're saying here that, CW canceling all these shows that have all this LGBT and all this queer and all this and the other and all of this, shouldn't that tell you that these shows are being made simply to push an agenda and not because for good writing, for good stories, nothing. But you want people to keep a show on air that is losing viewership, that not interested and nobody cares about simply because it have a person of color and queer people. That is all you see. This is all you see. Naomi was doomed from the start. This show had no way of possibly getting any good, being interesting, anything. It failed miserably at every turn. The only thing that they were pushing with this show was the same diversity, inclusivity crap that they always do without getting anything involved in a story. You had things in this show that never made any calculable sense at all. At all. You have It have people, I am sure, who probably watch this and to this point have no idea who Naomi actually is, what the show is about. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That is how bad it is. And you're coming here and saying that, we should keep the canceling the show. The show is not good. It's nobody going after anybody of color and going after anybody because of their sexuality. What people want is good entertainment. They want to watch something and be able to say, okay, I'm enjoying this, I'm connecting with this character. They don't want your biased nonsense shoved down their throat. I mean, look at these ratings. Look at these ratings. But you have these people talking and say they cancel the show. Where were you? Clearly, you weren't watching it. These are the people who come out and say all kind of things, but they support nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, had this been CW 6 months ago, this show would have get a second season. But now with the merger and David Zaslav and them take over all kind of stuff and what's going on with the other, this show is out the door. But had this been CW 6 months ago, this would have got a second season. I mean, Batwoman got 3 seasons and nobody could actually say why. This show was horrible. Naomi was worse. Why do you think anybody would keep something on that is not producing anything at all? I'm telling you, I don't think anybody could actually tell me 3 things that they liked about Naomi, the series. Far less one. The only thing they could come and say that, oh, I like seeing her, I see a person of color up there. And they don't like black people, I don't like black people. No, that is your crap. That is your racial nonsense. That is what it is. That's your racial nonsense, not everybody else's. People watch these things. They want interesting characters. They want to enjoy what they're viewing. You are trying to push an agenda because you know your crap has no legs to stand on. This show was doomed from the beginning. It is an embarrassment to TV. It is a ridiculous. It was a ridiculous attempt at doing something that nobody asked for, and I am so very happy that this has been cancelled, and they should never bring it back, because clearly you don't know what you're doing. You don't care about your fan. You are making these shows for an audience of nobody. That is what you're doing. You're making it for an audience of nobody, because the people you're appealing to on Twitter don't watch your crap. And the people who you claim watch your stuff do not even make up 1% of any kind of percentage at all. They don't even make up 1%. The show failed because it was dog shit crap. And you have nobody to blame but yourselves. Nobody. Ava DuVernay, who you gave this, who produced this show, whatever, she done nothing to make herself interesting, no way to do anything, but you keep promoting this because these people fail upwards. We have Gotham Knights coming up. That's going to be another absolute and utter friggin' disaster that may not even make it through its first season. Because why? Just like Naomi, it's about crap that nobody's interested in. That's it for me, people. Let me know in the comments what you think about Naomi finally being cancelled. If you like the video, be sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I put out a new video. Be sure to share the video out there, and I shall see you all next time. Take care.